Hi, this is Jamie with Stonemaier Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite game mechanism in Pandemic Legacy. Pandemic Legacy. So this is going to be a tough one to do because Pandemic Legacy is a game that's chock full of spoilers, and spoiler means different things to different people. If you were the type of person that wants to know nothing at all about what's inside this box, even what you would see if you opened it right now, just all in shrink wrap, and you just open it and saw what's in the box and maybe leaf through the rules. If you are that type of person, you're not going to want to watch this video. If you are the type of person who is okay with me talking about what you would see if you read the original rules of Pandemic Legacy, as they are when you open the box, then feel free to keep watching. So in Pandemic Legacy, as you will see, as you immediately read the rules, there are two kind of mechanisms that I want to talk about today that go hand in hand in a really interesting way. One is what they call the Legacy Deck. The Legacy Deck is something that you'll be drawing cards off the top of as the card on the top instructs you to do so. So it'll say, like, at the beginning of this month, draw this card, and read what's on it and do the thing. That's the Legacy Deck, and it's in a certain order. It's essentially the same as reading a book, but they decided to do cards for various reasons. But it's a deck of cards. So that's one mechanism. And the other mechanism is that there's a big sheet of stickers that you would see right away when you open the box. Big sheet of stickers. And at the end of every game, you get to choose two upgrades. So no matter what happens in the game, at the end of the game, you get to choose two upgrades, which gets you really excited about playing the game again because you want to see what it's like when you actually get to use those upgrades, which is really cool. That in itself is really cool. And it's kind of obvious from the legacy mechanism that you're putting stickers on things and making them better. But it's the intersection of these two mechanisms that's kind of interesting, the Legacy Deck and this upgrade, the upgrades that you get to choose from. Because I'm 10 games into Pandemic Legacy right now. And it feels a lot different than Risk Legacy, which is also by designer Rob Daviau. And it was, I think, my favorite gaming experience period of, I think it was last year that I played it, 2014, maybe 2013, one of those 2 years. Because players got to choose their own narrative. You got to tell your own story, and you got to permanently change the board as you wished. Which I loved. I loved that you had control over your own narrative, and the way things evolved was essentially under control. There were surprises, like something would say the first time someone rolls 3 6s or something, unlock this compartment. So there's a surprise like that, but the narrative itself is under your control. The game isn't telling you the narrative. Pandemic Legacy is a little different. As you can see, it says Season 1 on the box because it acts a little bit like a TV show. Or maybe a video game is a better comparison. Because there is a specific narrative in the game, and that's that Legacy Deck, where it's telling a specific story in a specific order that you do. Like, you follow that story. And so a few games into Pandemic Legacy, I kind of, that difference really dawned upon me because I was like, okay, we're not really telling our own story here. We are following the game's version of the story, which it's telling us what the story is. But I realized that it's so clever because that mechanism of having a specific narrative is very entertaining in the same way that a video game with a narrative or a plot is entertaining, and that a TV show with a great plot is very entertaining. But it's paired in the game with the upgrades. So even though you are not in control of the overall plot, the narrative of the story, you are in control over who the characters are, like how you're impacting this world. Like there are standard upgrades that you can see on the sticker sheet right away. When you open the game, you'll be able to see these on the sticker sheet. Where you can upgrade your character, you can do something. I won't even get all that specific, but it's something with research stations. There's something with the event cards, and there's something with the various viruses in the game, and you get to change them in the order that you want. You get to apply these stickers as you wish. And so even though you're following the game's plot line, you are becoming, every time you play the game and you add these upgrades, you are becoming deeper and deeper ingrained into the plot of the game in a way that no other copy of the game will be. I mean, this game will be completely unique, which is cool about a legacy game. I'm still almost digesting it. Obviously, I'm only 10 games in, so I still have a long way to go. I think we have 5 months left in the game. But it's this intersection between having a specific plot line and a narrative, and then like character upgrades and other upgrades in the game, changing the world of the game while having this distinct plot line. And I think it was really, really interesting. And it gave the designers a lot of flexibility because they had control over that narrative. Everything wasn't up to the players, as is the case in Risk Legacy. It's completely up to the players. The game doesn't say, okay, in game 6, you have to do this thing to win, or you have to do this specific thing. So I thought that was really interesting, and in a really unique take on a legacy game. So yeah, that's my mechanism. I normally ask, are there any other games that do this? But really, I think Pandemic Legacy is very unique in this aspect. Maybe the only other games I can think of that kind of do this are like Myth or some other dungeon crawl games where you do get to upgrade your character permanently for the rest of that campaign, even though the campaign is still saying, okay, you have to do this thing next. Like it's making that decision for you. So maybe there are some other comparisons with dungeon crawl games, and I think that's pretty cool. I like having the mix of those two mechanisms. Let me know if you have a favorite game that uses the mix of those two mechanisms to a great effect. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Thanks.